Well, our next one, which I'm very excited about, is we had Chloe on doing a few interviews this week. Two, in
Yeah.
fact. She sat down for Mata with Mihirangi Forbes, which was a great little interview. And she also sat down with David Littell? No, uh, Lit, Lit, Litelli? Litelli?
Like
Litelli?
Hotel, yeah, I
Litelli?
think it's Hotel
Littell?
maybe.
I feel like it's Littell, who's a fantastic guy as well. But it was a very, very authentic interview, which was really nice. I always liked seeing Chloe just being herself, which she always is. But it was nice. They talked about mental health, and I guess it was just a bit more authentic, and it was about her personally as opposed to politically, in which the interview with Mihi was. So I'm gonna show a few small clips because I recommend going and watching the interview with Mihi yourselves because it's obviously fantastic. But there is something that really um, was really interesting because it's something that we've discussed many a times, or at least I have a theory, and this is me being very optimistic and coping, that there are people in National who are of sound mind and may, in fact, be holding back their opinions and thoughts because of the current leadership and the current leanings of the party. Probably just a shit party at the moment.
Mm.
And Chloe has kind of confirmed that for me. So she's talking about her biscuit tin bill, which is crazy that this has to be a
Yes.
biscuit tin bill, in putting sanctions against Israel for because of what's happening in Gaza. And she talks about how it's a conscience vote, I think it is,
Yes.
where it's individuals vote, not party.
Hmm.
So yeah, have a listen and tell me what you think.
All we need is 6 of 68 government MPs to get it onto the floor of the House.
And have you spoken to six, and are they willing?
I've spoken
Wait, not that one. Yes,
Hold, please.
yes, that one. Or maybe it is that one.
We obviously have the support of the Greens, of Te Pāti
That's
Māori, and of Labour. All we need is 6 of 68 government MPs to get it onto the floor of the House.
And have you spoken to six, and are they willing?
I've spoken to a number of national MPs in particular, and
What are they telling you privately?
they're telling me, and look, I'll be crystal clear about this, they're telling me that they're terrified about the future of their career because the indication that they've got from their leadership is that if they were to stick their neck out and do the right thing here, then they would be losing their place on the pecking order. And my question that I've put back to all of them is, what the hell is the point of your job?
Got him. I mean, there's no other way to say it is yeah. But also, this part when I watched this part, it made me actually wonder. She said from the leaders. I don't feel like Luxon is the kind of guy who would be intimidating. So I'm wondering who's the one that's doing the insinuating and kind of.
Well, there's a few trains of thought with that, right? Because you could be thinking it could be the front line or the front benches.
Mm-mm.
Possibly, could be that. It could be the threat from their coalition partners and making sure that there's a cohesion between them and making them all look good. So they're kind of just following along with whatever it is. I don't know. For example, it might be Luxon who's not enforcing it, but perhaps the other two are sort of, keeping strings on them, right? To say, hey,
Mm-mm.
this is what we want. Don't go against it, or we're going to fuck up your government, which is kind of a stupid threat because they're minor parties anyway. But he's also a shit leader, so he probably is falling for it, as he has done for the last 18 months.
Yeah, we've got people
Or
saying it'll be Crusher, which
it could be.
it
It
could
could
be.
be. But there's also the thought that perhaps it's from the donors and the National
Mm,
Party president, like that side of things.
yeah.
It could be coming from there, and they might be pressured from donors. is another thing I'm speculating here. But like I've said for a while that I do honestly believe that there are national MPs who have been there for a long time who entered the National Party when it was Key's National Party, which, you know, we still disagree with, but it was a completely, like a lot of people said, this is not your John Key's National Party anymore. This is a completely different party.
It's the
Whether
Atlas
that's
Network's
because
national party.
whether that's because Luxon is a jellyfish and he's getting steamrolled by, you know, the fuckwit that is Nintendo DS and a very old man who won't put on a fucking high-vis vest for some reason. Don't ask. That was the weirdest video I've ever seen.
Well, so you know how I'm going to be doing that tier list for fashion with the MPs?
Oh, nice.
I could not find a fucking picture of Winston that wasn't in a suit. It was really hard, especially for more recent. Like, I'm not really going to use like old pictures, but my God, it was hard to find him in in anything that wasn't kind of basically a suit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Was it? Wild.
But I'd love to know who Chloe's talking about here, and I think she's got integrity and she won't say. I think that's very good of her, but she is definitely saying that there are people, and she's calling them out, and I rightfully so. Like, great point. Why are you in this job if it's not for doing the right thing for the people?
Absolutely.
There's a small bit that I've noted here that we'll just listen to, and then she goes into a little bit more detail about working across the aisle, or at least attempting to.
So you're saying that MPs on the right who feel really concerned about what's happening in Palestine and Gaza are too afraid to vote for your bill because of their positions?
I'm telling
What's
you
the point of a conscious bill?
Well, that's the point that I've made to them is, you know, they're all aware of the fact that we currently operate inside one of the most whipped parliaments in the Western world. But at this point in time in our political history, where it appears as though there are no rules, surely now more than ever, standing on the side of human rights and peace and justice and upholding what is supposed to be the international rules-based order, well, that should mean something.
Thanks for putting me on the screen, but
I was looking at a different tab. Sorry, guys.
That's what you could hear it. That's all that matters. You could hear it. You could hear.
I guess the people want to see Chloe's face, and I can't blame them on that one. You know,
and Mihi's looking amazing with the necklace and the jumper and the green. Right? That's all on point.
Color coordinated.
Yeah, so she's got a little bit more to say about this, and I don't know. I just my little conspiracy theorist and coping brain is going, come on, there's got to be some good guys in there. There's got to be some good guys.
Sure. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's at least one or two.
Come on, Tama, cross the aisle.
Nah, that wasn't what I was thinking.
Have a backbone.
Of the 68, do you feel this way? Or how many have you spoken to?
I've spoken to enough. But as to how many feel that way in the broader caucus, I think that particularly those who are in safe seats don't necessarily feel as compelled to reach across the aisle and to speak to me. Although, actually, that said, yeah, there are a number whose consciences are twinging.
Maybe Erica Stanford does have some kind of conscience. I don't know. She's one of the only ones I could think of that could maybe.
Well, there was that story that came out today where she was trying to work with the Labour's spokesperson for education. I take everything that this government is doing with a grain of salt. So whether or not it's 100% true or there's something missing, I benefit of the doubt. I kind of see it as a Labour was in the wrong and they should have worked. They were given the opportunity to work across the aisle, whether it was in good faith or it was not what we've heard before, which is we're going to do this. Are you going to support it, as opposed to let's work together. But you know, I've said for a while, Erica's. You love to hate her. You hate to love her. I think it's probably more so I hate to love her, but maybe it's more so I hate to tolerate.
Yes,
her.
yeah. I think love is a strong word. Love is definitely a strong word. But yeah, tolerate.
I can
Not
definitely
mind so
tolerate
much.
her. Like she from the people that I the connections I have with and the knowledge that I have because my mom was a teacher for I don't know most of her life, the entirety of my life. I know the education system quite well and sort of the back end of it, like being a teacher and the principal and the marking and the management and all those sorts of things. And then obviously with my husband being in the education field as well. That not everything that she's done has been bad, and a lot of people actually appreciate a lot of the things that she's come out with. Whether it's for the correct reasons, budgetary wise, or this bullshit with Te being stripped from a book. Like there are a lot of flaws, but there are some things that I think she is genuinely listening to the sector. And there are changes that are happening that the sector does want, but it's that whole package of are we doing it right? Are we consulting correctly? Are we getting the long-term plans? All this sort of stuff. So, but I think she's under the same pressure that every other minister is under, which is go hard, go fast, break the system. And I think she's doing that with urgency and doing it, but at least some, if not a good 50% of what she's doing is actually appreciated. That's not everyone, but yeah. As for other things, I'm not seeing a lot of happy people in health, for example. I'm not seeing a lot of happy people in infrastructure and construction. So, yeah.
But I do like to see her going full hardcore. I mean, it's just I just love seeing that, I think it's kind of the similar energy we see from Dr. Gary Panda, and it's that I am sick of this shit and we need to do something because it's not stopping, and taking longer to get to it is only going to be harder. And yeah, I can see and I mean Chloe, you can really tell the way she's also she's really gotten down pack into her communicate, her communication skills have always been amazing, but I feel like they've almost leveled up a little bit where she's on another level, and her ability to synthesize and take in questions on the spot and kind of bring things in is just, it's getting stronger. And so that's why I'm like, come on, guys, we need to help the Greens and Te Pāti Māori and all of this, because we got a lot to do, and they need all they can get when it comes to volunteers and help, because obviously the left aren't exactly the rich side. So if we can't help them monetarily, we can help them even just sharing their social media posts. Something as small as that, all the way up to actually volunteering or joining or doing any of that stuff.